Hi, everybody.
Hi,
It's
y'all.
Friday night, and I'm here with my friends, and we're getting ready to play PoliTarology. It's the last PoliTarology before the election, so it's going to be very exciting. I'm very excited to be here.
And who's going to win?
I
Win.
think the woman named Kamala. I think
Kamala. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, do I have?
Oh, yeah, that's my fault.
Okay, I was like, oh,
I forgot to mute the other computer because I run the show on the other computer. So if there's any glitches, I can see it if it's not showing up in StreamYard.
Oh, you're so technical. I love it.
It's just something I picked up doing. So
oh, very cool. All right. So
I forgot to mute it.
Hello. I hope everybody had a good Halloween. That's over. Now let's focus on the election. Okay. So
now it's time for the fun stuff.
All right. So we're going to go around the circle quickly and everybody's going to tell us what's going on. And then we're going to jump into, I hope we have some people here asking some questions. And I'll put up a banner for it. And Shari, tell us what's going on. And then you guys just go around the circle. I'm going to do a banner.
Tomorrow I have Nate the Clairvoyant coming on, and we're going to do a live stream with a flip through of his new redo of his mystical tarot of the saints.
Oh, cool.
What they call a coffret. The cards are now linen, and they're offering just all kinds of extra goodies and stuff that he's offering with it. It's really, really nice. So he's going to come on, and we're going to talk about all of the cards and everything, and then take questions.
Sorry, when is that, Shari? When is that going to be?
Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central.
Okay. All right.
And then tomorrow night, of course, is the slumber party at 11 p.m. Central. And Sunday afternoon is monthly mysteries with Amy. And we dig up cold cases and read on those. So
fun.
We do that the first Sunday of the month. So yeah.
Oh, that sounds great. Sounds great.
All right.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you. And thank you for being here. And Shari is my co-host tonight. She's running all the back end stuff. So we're not going to be picking questions doing the picker. Although I bet I have that tool. I bet you have that tool, but it's okay. We'll just do regular. So be sure to put your questions in the chat in all caps. And Val, how are you? And what's going on with you?
I am so excited to be here. What's going on? I'm so excited for this show to talk about politics, but also tonight, another story in the cards. Catch Allie, Marina, and I at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, hope to see you there.
Yeah. Okay, great. And hello, Cleo. What's going on with you?
Hi. On Monday, I've got caffeinated and unfiltered, and yesterday I talked about it, and I said I couldn't make it. But then today it looks like I can. Maybe it's kind of up and down, but anyway, now I'm planning on it for Monday. Caffeinated and unfiltered. On Thursday, I've got Golden Girls, and I believe Val is hosting that Golden Girls. And then on Friday, we've got the Cool Crone Oracle. But, in between time, we've got the election. So,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to that Golden Girls on Thursday, because by Thursday, we will know exactly, we'll know what's going on, even if they're still counting votes.
Yeah.
We're psychics. I think we already know what's going on. Oh, God.
We already know who's going to win. So, it's just a matter of everybody else following through.
They just have to catch up to us, the mechanism.
Yes. Okay, so for me, I'm on most of the same shows that my sister is, so just look for her. And I'm very excited about the election. I don't even want to talk about anything else. But one thing I wanted to mention, I think I mentioned this on one of the other shows last night or the night before, because I've had a lot of shows lately, and that there's a state, and I want to say it's either North Carolina or Georgia. It's one of the bigger states where the turnout for early voting is not just a little more than it was in 2020. It's like 100
Oklahoma.
No, not Oklahoma is big too, but this I'm pretty sure this is either Georgia or North Carolina. I can Google it in a minute, but
I think you're thinking of North Carolina.
Yeah, North
Mhm.
Carolina.
Yeah, I think it is too. But Oklahoma is the same thing.
Yeah.
There are people that are recording and reporting, and they're like, I have never seen early voting with lines like this. Like people
Well, and somebody said that
down the road, around the block, and just
Yeah. And the thing is, like in 2020, that was COVID, and we were all amazed that we had so many people turning out. So if it was like 300,000 people doing early voting at this point last time, it's like a million times that. It's like 300 million or something. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's not 300 million. I don't think there's 300 million people in North Carolina, but the difference is just it's exponential. I'll just use that word. And that's probably the same way in Oklahoma, because
in Oklahoma they're saying that it might turn blue. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Oklahoma
no, that's what they're
is
saying.
notoriously red.
I'm
I mean,
in Louisiana, and our early voting is through the roof. They cannot get over how many people have shown up, and all of the mail-in ballots that have already come in, mine being one of them. But they're looking at names and where they're registered, so they're thinking it's all Republicans that are doing this. And I think they're going to have a really rude awakening when they start opening them up and counting votes and discover that, oh, these Republicans all voted for Kamala.
I think a lot of Republicans are voting for Kamala. I don't think that's going to be a big surprise. Look at this big campaign that's been going on TikTok for all the white women to counter vote their husbands, to neutralize their husband's vote by voting for Kamala. I don't think that's going to be an unusual event. I think that's going to be pretty normal.
There was a story that got released just the other day. I caught part of it where this older woman, like up in her 70s, she's never actually voted herself because her husband always told her she didn't have to vote. He would vote for her. And so he would take her information and bring it. But he was the one that cast the vote. So whatever he decided is how her vote went. And so she was like all excited because she was actually getting to do it.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Because her husband died.
Yeah, her husband died. And so
she's free.
Like,
she's free.
I
just saw this thing. WRAL.com says half of North Carolina voters have already cast ballots with 2 days left in early voting.
Yeah.
Half of voters. I mean, usually early voting, you're lucky if you get, 20, 30% of your voters. Half, 50% of North Carolina voters have already cast their ballots. Good Lord. The world is upside down. That is cuckoo. That is just cuckoo bananas. Let's see what's going on with Oklahoma. That's my daddy's state. Our daddy's state.
Yeah. And Marie Sutton's asking about Nevada. And I was just saying backstage that Nevada it's light blue. It's going light blue, not fully dark blue yet. But we've been Democratic for quite a long time. And then we had somebody from the GOP become governor. But right now we are headed toward the deep blue. So just keep your eyes on Nevada. Don't worry. We're going blue. We are in the light blue stage now. So
this news story about Oklahoma is from today at 11:49 a.m. It doesn't say what time zone, but it says that as of Friday morning, nearly 175,000 people have cast their ballot in person so far. The early voting number surpasses the early votes in Oklahoma for the 2020 election, which were pretty close at 167. Come on, you stupid ad. 167,185. So it's a little bit higher, but those numbers in North Carolina, that just blows everybody out of the water.
It does, doesn't it? I mean,
and I think New Jersey's pretty high too.
Well, and they're also predicting some storms coming up. So that's another thing that's making people want to get their votes in right away.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. It's been raining here for 2 days. I mean, when I went to leave work yesterday, walking to the car, I was wearing my boots yesterday, just my regular motorcycle ankle boots, leather boots, and the water was deeper than the top of my boots. It was like with every step, the water was coming in. By the time I got home, I was soaked from the knees down. The inside of my boots were full of water. I've still got them drying in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm just hoping they're not ruined.
The image of that is just, wow. Just to the parking lot. I mean.
Oh gosh, that's hard. You be careful, Shari, because that kind of rain.
That's hard to drive in. And
you shouldn't drive it. So here's a story about New Jersey early voting. Now, I did mail-in voting, and mail-in voting has been very popular in New Jersey forever. And I don't know if I just didn't know about it or if this is the first year of actual in-person early voting in New Jersey. I didn't think we had that. So I think it's maybe this year's the newest, the first year. So somebody can correct me if they know. But listen to this. New Jersey voters are showing up in record numbers for early voting with over 380,000 ballots cast in just the first weekend. Yeah, I know, it's big. It's really big. And we learned the hard way because we had Chris Christie as a governor for 2 terms. So, we got beat down good and proper from him. But actually, he was a pretty good governor. And in Hurricane Irene, he was really good. But other than that, I don't like him. That whole thing with the bridge and everything, Bridgegate. All right. So do we have some questions? Yes, Shari's been starring some questions. Okay, well, let's just take the questions as they come and see what goes on. So the first question we have is from Lisa Demers. Evening, everyone. Want to know if the Supreme Court will walk back their immunity ruling when Kamala wins.
I don't think they can.
No,
I think they have to bring it to court.
Well, keep an open mind. I mean, they are the Supreme Court. They make the rules.
Well, I think that it will. Are we talking about Roe versus Wade? Or are we talking about
no. Immunity for the president?
Well, I think that they will do something with it, but I don't think they're going to walk it back right away. I think other people have to take action and go to
exactly right. Cleo's right. Nobody. The Supreme Court is just going to take the case to look at it if somebody submits it. They can't just arbitrarily start making laws. They have to be asked to do so.
Well, but they have been. That's what they've been doing for the last 2 years, is arbitrarily making laws. Now, here's what I'm thinking. So Tanya Chutkan is still working on her piece of the assignment, her homework on the immunity case. And I think that she's going to do all of her due diligence. And I think that then she'll get Trumpy back in the courtroom, God willing. And then if anything gets pushed up to the Supremes, then I think they go, oh, well, based on Judge Chutkan's findings and Mr. Smith's indictments, we don't see any immunity. I think that's how they're going to do it. I think that they're going to, they need to wait till something comes before them, true. But they're not above just making arbitrary laws. And they're not above digging into that pile of cases and just finding something and pretending that it fits.
Biden has
already. By the way, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Nice.
But Biden's already trying to do something with that. But I think more will come of it after the election.
Biden? What's he doing?
He's president until January.
But he's trying to do something with the immunity ruling?
Yes. He doesn't agree with that immunity ruling.
So what's he trying to do?
Well, he can't do much right this minute because of the way are. But after the election, he will probably, he'll do something, because he's disgusted with the Supreme Court.
Fire them. That's what he should do.
Either that or else he's going to decide, you know what? I got immunity. Let's change some things.
Yeah, that's what he could use it for.
I'm just saying, if the power's there, use it.
Yeah, and he could use Donald Trump's line on them. You're fired.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't that true?
But yes, he's definitely going to take action between.
I think I got to throw cards on that.
January.
Well,
Wow.
I threw cards on the original question, and I got
Uh-huh.
first thing I got was the Queen of Cups. There's Miss Kamala right there, followed by Justice. Oh yeah, she's gonna be doling it out. Following by the Six of Cups. It just she's gonna they're gonna rue the day. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
That's all good stuff for her. And Teacher Barbara, it depends on what state you're in as to when they count early votes or mail-in votes. If you show up and vote in person, I think they count it as it goes. They've already got that data. If you mail it in, depending on your state, will depend if they count it as it comes in or if they wait. Like my state, they don't even open the ballots for mail-in votes until the end of election day. And then they start opening and counting those votes. So that just depends on what state you're in. And I don't know what Florida's laws are. So,
You know, I have to say, these are the cards I pulled. They're really going to have a big look at them themselves and worry. Here's the plateau upside down. So you can imagine that. There's going to be a little breath of air flowing through, or they're going to take a deep breath and go, we better do something about this. And here's going back to the womb, the original ideas of the Constitution, for instance. So I think there's going to be some kind of life-saving.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that too. I was just going to look up Tanya. Yeah. The Queen of Cups is Tanya Chutkin. She's a Cancer. She's a water sign.
Yeah.
so there you go. So my Queen of Cups was Tanya.
I think the connection is with her. Now, the cards that I got was afterwards. I was asking, is Biden going to try to do something with this immunity thing? Oh, yes, he is. He's going to pull out his magic wand and he's going to take some action. So between November 5th and January 20th, Mr. Biden is going to, we may not know about it because he's very secretive, that Scorpio that he is.
Yes,
but we also have the King of Swords here. So some kind of lawmaker, he's going to be working with somebody, maybe Jack Smith. He's going to be trying something. I'm telling you, don't with Brandon.
Don't forget.
He doesn't play.
Scorpio.
That's right.
He's got that tail. He's going to get him.
Also going to approach him about Roe versus Wade. I mean, he's just not happy with anything that's going on.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. I want to. Can we just read a little bit about the Supreme Court now that we're on that topic? I know there's other questions in the chat, but I really want to. I just want to get a little feel for what's going to be happening here, because I just asked you guys how soon and how many people will be leaving the Supreme Court between now and the end of 2025, and do we have any timelines? Oh God. Okay.
Three or 4 months. I think it's going to be hot.
I agree.
Hot on it. I'm getting the chills on that. There's going to be some.
You said 3 or 4. I pulled a 3 and a 4.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be.
I also pulled a 5.
The glasses are going to be looking at them. Yeah, sunken ship. Boom.
Yeah, it's gonna be early. You don't have to wait till the end.
Early. They're not waiting for that. That is too. That is jeopardy. That is no.
5 of Cups. Supreme Court's going to be regretting this decision, and then I've got the 3 of Wands. They better get prepared because Biden's getting ready to make his move. Followed by the 4 of Wands. We're going to be celebrating big time. So we got 3, 4, and 5. So I would say 3 to 5 months.
Yes, I agree with all of you. Although the card that jumped out of my deck was the World, meaning that things are just coming to an end. It's just coming to an end for them.
Yeah.
Here's what I've been getting for them is that, Kamala. Oh God, this is all just wrapped up with all sorts of stuff with Kamala. I'll try to parse this the right way. So she's going to have her hands full because there is probably going to be some kind of a scandal that comes out about the Supreme Court, another one that they just can't keep a lid on it. And, you know, I think this is what prompts Biden to go and start talking to them behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Especially to Roberts, because Roberts has just screwed the pooch. He has just allowed this thing to go way off the rails, and he's not in control of them at all. They're just doing what they want to do. I feel that Thomas is going to get the heebie-jeebies and probably leave first for no apparent reason. He's probably going to just claim, you know, have a bad back or my appendix burst or something. But
I gotta go lock Jenny up. She's gone nuts.
Yeah,
again.
yeah. Well, that could be too. But I think that it could even happen before she's inaugurated. But I feel that something with one of them, and it's probably going to be Thomas, is going to happen pretty quickly. And Biden may just have a talk with Kamala and say, do you want to pick this judge or do you want me to do it? And the thing is that she's going to have to pick like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 of them, because they're going to have to take these people out. I mean, Jack isn't preparing indictments for them, although he should. The DOJ should. But I feel there'll be something with Thomas very, very soon, and that's the 3 months. And then there's more shit that comes out, and at 4 months, we start getting Alito and Is it Gorsuch?
Well, who was the guy that was flying?
You just flew out of my deck when I was trying to shuffle.
I got that too. I got the devil too. What, Cleo?
Who was the guy flying the flags upside
Alito.
down?
That's Alito.
You know, Biden's not going to put up with this crap. I mean, this was definitely a move towards Trump. The judges are not supposed to be doing that,
right?
Especially at that level. And so, that guy, I think it is happening very soon.
Yeah. And the stuff is coming out about Roberts. Roberts has been manipulating things a lot. He's been making it look like it's the other justices, and they're putting their names on the opinions. But Roberts has been pulling a lot of strings in a weird way that he didn't used to do. So I think Alito and Roberts are right behind Thomas. But I think who are those other numbskulls? Gorsuch and Comey Barrett and Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh's the one I'm forgetting. Kavanaugh might go up.
Like beer.
Yeah, Kavanaugh might go up. So that's month 4. And then month 5, who's ever left out of that gang of ridiculousness, the little rascals, as we'll call them, you know, then more are going to leave. The reason I think that I said the end of 2025 is because I think by the end of the year, somebody like Amy Coney Barrett will also step down, but hers may be a little bit nudging because she did some things wrong, and a little bit she may have a health problem.
Yeah. You know, and I agree with everything you just said. I think it will be
the repairman.
It will be
quick.
Clarence Thomas first.
Clarence first.
Totally get that, and that will be like the
domino.
And then they'll all fall. Yeah.
Biden's the repairman. He's getting ready to go to work and start fixing all this shit.
So I get the repairman for Biden too. It's hilarious, but
that is hilarious. That's funny. So Leo first, and then probably like maybe Kavanaugh next, and I mean Thomas first, then Alito, and maybe Kavanaugh, then Roberts, then. I don't know about Gorsuch. I don't know how bad he is, but towards the end of the year, then Amy Coney Barrett. But in the meantime, what does Kamala do? And who does she have swear her in? Because I Googled this, and she doesn't have to go with the Chief Justice. She can go with any judge that she wants.
Just like she doesn't have to use a Bible to swear in on.
She used different Bibles when she was sworn in as vice president. So she'll use those 2 Bibles again, probably, but who will swear her in? I don't think she wants John Roberts touching anything near her, let alone her Bibles.
I don't understand why I got the weirdo card.
Gee, I wonder.
It's the weirdo card.
I wonder who that judge is, but I don't know.
So my question is, really, who will she pick to swear her in? And I'm guessing it's going to be somebody like either, if it is somebody from the Supreme Court, Ketanji Brown Jackson. She's mentioned her in her speeches.
Or
Yeah.
Sotomayor.
or somebody not on the Supreme Court, somebody
Yeah.
that she's known in the legal profession for many years, because she knows a lot of judges. She was a prosecutor for years.
She does.
So she might pick somebody from California, or
I didn't know they could pick.
yeah, I mean, if she wanted to, she could have Gavin Newsom swear her in. I mean,
I didn't even know they could.
She could
Yeah,
probably get Biden to swear her in.
I
if she wanted.
Googled it. Yeah,
Oh.
she could, but I think she knows this is a historic moment.
Yes, it is.
So she's gonna, I mean, if Maya Angelou were alive, she'd probably have Maya Angelou swear her in.
Probably.
But you know, who does she pick? I mean, Ketanji Brown Jackson, yes, is the first Black woman on the Supreme Court. That would be very, very appropriate. But you know, Kamala does like to shake it up just a bit. I mean, maybe she'll pick somebody from you know, from the Pan-Indian background. Who knows? You know,
I get the Jackson one that you're just talking about.
Yeah.
That
you think she'll go with that?
I'm feeling like she's leaning towards that,
Mhm.
but you know, right now she's really not even thinking about that. Right now,
No.
she's just laser focused
Yeah.
on campaigning and getting to the finish line. So,
Yeah,
but,
and
I think that could be it.
I got the world when you were saying that, yeah, she's waiting for the finish line before she even thinks about it. I
Yeah,
think that's
but
right.
They're going to be
knows-
eating her dust.
She knows that this is a a historical moment, and you know, it's incumbent upon her to choose appropriately.
Yeah,
Well,
because
I
the
think
world is watching.
She's like a woman. She's like another
And she's
woman.
going to sprout wings and fly.
Yeah, I think it'll be a woman, and I think it'll be a woman of some color, but I don't know what color, and I don't know what.
You don't think she'll pick Sotomayor because she's been on the Supreme Court for many more years?
Possibly.
And
So
she's not afraid to let those other justices know
Oh,
exactly what
she
she
does
thinks.
too. She does.
So out of respect
for how long
she writes some awesome dissents, man. Let me tell
The
you.
reason I'm leaning towards Ketanji Brown Jackson is because I know that she has mentioned her in her speeches.
Yeah.
And so if I've heard it in one of her speeches, she's probably mentioned her more than once.
Yeah, then I would say
That's
they have a
one,
relationship. Yeah.
But she also, you know, I mean, she's going along for a few months, and all of a sudden we heard about her pastor from California.
Yeah.
That she's so close to him. Like, what? You mean you don't have any kind of like a Hindu thing going on? Okay.
She doesn't have a Hindu thing going on.
She has no Hindu thing going on. I mean, that's what I was thinking. You know, she could pick some, you know, what do they call them? Priest, a Hindu priest too, or maybe two people. I don't know.
Can you put up Anna Hutchinson's here at the bottom where she just said the thing about this Pennsylvania Supreme Court? Yes.
All right. Trump lost the court challenge. Hey, I'll drink to that. Yay.
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 The first of many, we all hope.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Yay.
I'd light a candle, but I already have them lit. I got Pete back here. He's a little turned around. Let me get it the right way. Oh, Pete. Here we go. Your Advent is very well celebrated. Everybody been celebrating the Advent of Pete Buttigieg?
Absolutely.
You know, it's in my heart.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. All right, let's pick another question. Okay, so all right, so we can get rid of that one. I have a burning question. Is anyone else noticing that Kamala's supporting celebrities include Usher, Beyonce, and now J-Lo, all intimately associated with P. Diddy, Sean Combs? Oh, very interesting.
But you know, there's a lot of big names that were associated with P. Diddy. I'm not making excuses for anybody, but I'm just saying he was very strategic in having very important people show up for some of his parties and whatnot.
Oh yeah, his white party.
That weren't involved in any of the shenanigans going on.
So you have to understand, and even with Epstein, some people could have been involved with him and some not at all that went to some of his parties. So not even knowingly.
Prince William and Prince Harry went
Yeah.
to one of his parties.
There you
They
go.
were
So you
invited.
can't, don't
And they
paint
went,
everyone
and they weren't there long before one of their people said, "Get the hell out now."
the hell out.
And they left. They had an
Yeah,
excuse and they
exactly.
left. But,
Exactly.
I mean, you're talking the future king of England there. So,
Yeah. So I wouldn't,
My pendulum says no. There's nothing to it.
They use a lot
Yeah.
of celebrity. Of course, he knows celebrities and has
Yeah,
involved
I
in
mean,
those parties.
he
Well-
was also one of those celebrities that was always on the lookout for new talent to
Yeah.
invest in and promote and mentor, not necessarily to sleep with.
Yeah.
He was also
Right.
a businessman, even though he had a screw loose on the other side of his
Yeah,
head.
exactly.
So and those white parties were all about just making him more famous.
Yeah.
He was a bit Trumpy like that,
Yeah,
He just wanted to be known. He wanted to be
And he
known
knew
rich.
the way to move up the ladder and get to a point where people quit looking at him hard was to get big names that were showing up for his stuff. So that gave him cachet of, okay, well, this guy's legit, look who he's got showing up for his
And if you
parties.
think about it, I mean, I think he hit it big pretty early on in the
Mhm.
time that we've
Yeah.
all known him. And think
Yeah.
about what he started doing right away. Just like Trump, he did the vodka thing. He started doing clothing like Jay-Z. He started doing all sorts of things and those white parties. So he was just trying, I think what a lot of them do, trying to diversify, looking towards the day that he didn't have to perform so hard to make his money.
Mhm.
Yep. The sun.
Yeah.
It's what needs to be known. Everything's coming out in the sunlight.
Mhm.
So, and
But I don't
because
think there's anything underhanded or nefarious
No.
about all these people
No.
supporting her. Kamala is just the best goddamn candidate out there, so of course
No,
they're
she
gonna support
is.
her.
She is. I don't even have to stop and think
Yeah.
for a minute
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
She doesn't have time for that kind of monkey business
Well,
stuff.
No.
and the minute that people started dropping names, the witnesses or the victims, I should say, who have come forward,
Mhm.
there's a lot of these big names they never brought up. They were like, yeah, no, they weren't there. They had nothing to do with this kind of thing.
Mhm.
They were naming who was there and who wasn't.
Right.
So,
All right. So Kimberly Canoose has a question. Will the dust finally settle from this election by spring? As far as MAGA complaining, that's what I dread. Well, MAGA complaining and Trump complaining are two different things. But let's go with MAGA complaining. I'm sorry, Cleo, were you already ready?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay.
I
You
mean,
go ahead.
I did read today that Trump is saying that he will not run again. So, if that's the case,
I'll mute myself.
if that's the case, I mean, you go back to 2020. This has been ongoing ever since he got kicked out of the White House. So, if he's not going to run again, hopefully the dust will finally settle. It depends on what kind of arguments they come up with. They're taking things to court all the time. And like that last one we just saw, he's lost, which he's going to continue to lose. But as far as, I want to say yes. You just don't know because Trump's so goofy. I mean, will it go on even if Trump's in another country, or will the Republicans hold tight? I mean, the Republicans learned their lesson and realize they've got to regroup. They've got to get rid of this Trumpism and the Trump Republicans. I mean, it's the most screwball thing that has happened to that party. But yeah, as far as that when Trump loses, he's going to argue that he has been screwed again, that he's been stolen again. But he's got absolutely no clout this time.
And I just
Who's asking about MAGAs?
Yeah, I just heard recently that there's no hope for the GOP to come back to any kind of. They're going to have to be scrapped and start over. But here's what I get for the MAGAs. There's a lot of poop they stepped in. They're going to smell it and see it. Here's the demon the devil kind of thing going on. In other words, the negativity.
Mhm.
So it's really about seeing everything. They're going to see Trump and everything going on, and they're still going to feel like, what happened? They're going to feel the air out of the balloon. They're going to feel deflated a little bit, but they're going to still feel disgruntled, because that's why they clung to Trump to begin with. But they're going to get ghosted, because Trump is going to be ghosted. So at the end of the day, they are still going to complain, but it's not going to be loud enough to, it's going to be a little bit in the background. But mainstream society is going to ghost them and not give them airtime. It's not going to, it's just going to fall flat. The excitement of Kamala being the first woman president of the United States of America, and all the action she's going to take is going to take center stage. Whether that's in the negative or positive from the different camps, we'll see. But at the end of the day, the MAGAs are going to deflate. They're going to be ghosted.
Yeah, they're going to
I
be.
pull the 4 and 5 of cups.
Yeah,
There's going to be a lot of regret, a lot of looking at what they lost as opposed to what's now being offered to them.
Yeah,
and then it finished off with the Hierophant. So we're looking at Kamala's going to be representing the institutions and stuff, all the traditions. And I have a feeling she's going to follow a lot of that right along and help bring these people back into the fold.
mm-hmm.
I think is her main goal, is not to disparage them for making bad choices, but to say, okay, you screwed up.
She's going to treat them like
Come have a
citizens
seat
of
at
the
the
United
table and
States of
work it out.
America. Right.
Yeah.
Well, and depending if the House and the Senate goes Democrat, I mean, if then the Republicans they'll just be putting the tail between the legs and kind of crawling away and stepping back. Because for one thing, you got to remember, there's a whole bunch of people going to get in big trouble. For supporting Trump in a lie.
I think that's why they showed the naked man, because what they're going to see is him going through the court cases. And on the one hand, they're going to want to say, oh, that's all lies. And then inside, suddenly it's going to dawn on them that they were bullshitted the whole way through. And that all of those court cases can't be bullshit. And
when they start seeing senators and congressmen getting slapped with subpoenas and
there you go.
And carried into court with breaking the law, basically.
Yeah.
I think that's going to change a lot of minds too, because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to say, whoa, wait a minute. I mean,
they're going to try to say, I believed Trump, but that's not going to work. We know, everybody in the country knows that it was a complete lie, and that it's Trump bringing up the lies and then getting all his Republicans to fall in line to support that lie. That is what the problem is. That is what they're going to have to face the music on, and they are in big trouble. Okay. I noticed that even Lindsey Graham, he's starting to be kind of more middle of the road.
I noticed that too.
Because he knows and he sees it. He knows that Trump's not going to get it, and
that's why he's doing that. Yeah,
and so he will be screwed as well, because they support Trump in a lie. I mean, it's terrible what they've done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that it's going to take for those people in Congress and the Senate, I think it's going to take for them to actually start going to jail, for the MAGAs to really get scared. I think the subpoenas will not scare them as much. That's just my opinion. But I think that after November 5th, I think things are really going to shift. And I think the people who were in the MAGA tribe but voted for Kamala, I think when it's really declared that she's won, and this may not be until like January 1st for them, for it to be safe. But I think then they'll be like, yeah, well, I knew it. I voted for Kamala. Then there'll be a lot of them that, were in the closet and didn't want to say anything because they didn't want to, get shit talked to. But then they're going to be like, oh, yeah, sure, I voted for her. And they're the ones who are going to be able to recover easiest. But it's the ones that are really drank the Kool-Aid, really in the cult, died in the world MAGA. They are going to have a very hard time. And those are the ones that Kamala is really going to have to reach out for. But as she reaches out for them, this is when the whole industry of reprogramming, deprogramming, unbrainwashing these people, there's going to be a whole industry that crops up just to deal with the MAGA cult and helping people come back in. And even for some that aren't so brainwashed, this is going to be very helpful socially, because it will give them a way to gracefully come back into society when they've just been assholes for the last 10 years. They've really, really been stupid for the last 10 years. And that, I think that's also when you're really going to see Kamala making big gestures of, grants for deprogramming or something. She's going to try to do something to help them come back in. And I do think it's probably going to last a little longer than spring, I think. But it's kind of starting now with election, that you've got people who are claiming that they're voting for Trump, but they're voting for Kamala.
Yes.
You've got so many Republicans who are out and out stating I'm voting for Kamala. You've got so many Republicans who are endorsing her and campaigning with her, that there's this funnel of people that are starting to go in that direction. And you're going to have your little MAGAs at the end of it, on a spectrum of, oh, I just went along because my husband did, but I really never believed it. Or I really believed it and I really feel like an idiot now. Or I can't believe it and I just don't know what to do now. My world, I'm heartbroken or whatever.
I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot of women, especially in Texas, whose husbands are saying, now you got to vote for blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. There are.
Going, oh, yeah.
Oh, sure, honey. And then they're going to go in that booth and pull.
You can't tell me what to do in the booth, Kamala.
Well, and they're showing those commercials where they have a commercial where the voiceover lady is just saying, nobody knows what you do in the booth. It's okay. And then they show two women who are looking at each other over the table, over the little dividers. They're making eye contact with each other and then kind of going, it's okay. And then they walk out together and their husbands say, did you do the right thing, honey? And as she slaps on her I voted sticker, she says, I sure did, honey. And you know that she voted for Kamala.
And these MAGA, these GOP people are all, these talking heads, everyone is out there fired up over this. That scares the hell out of them, that these women aren't controlled by their men.
Well, did you hear Jesse Waters on Fox said that if he found out his wife voted for Kamala, he would take that as a betrayal to the point of that she had stepped out on him with another man.
That she had
an affair. I could not believe that he said that with a straight face and on television.
On air.
Which
shows how much he actually respects her, because he's willing to humiliate her publicly to save face.
Sealed.
Oh, what?
So fast.
Yeah,
he'd be getting hit with divorce papers so fast he wouldn't know what hit him.
So quick.
So I hope we answered that question. But anyway,
I think so.
This one is quick. Is early voting still good for the Dems? I'll tell you.
Yes.
There we go. Yep, it's good for the Dems. Okay. It is. Kelbell, it is. It's still good for the Dems. It's still good for the Dems. Oh, okay. I'm curious how many MAGA wives. Oh, we already answered that, I think. But does anybody want to answer that? Anybody want to put a number on it?
A lot.
Yeah. Okay, good, Shari. That's good. Okay, so a lot are going to do that. I think there are going to be so many more people that vote for Kamala than that say they vote for Kamala. That's why I think it is going
Yeah.
to be a landslide.
I just think that the Republican women are not looking at it as I'm a Republican. They're looking at it, what about my daughter? What about my mother? What about my cousin? You know, all these different people, all these different women in their lives, and that's what they're thinking about. They're not
right.
Exactly. You know, here it is. Here they are. And they're thinking we need some kind of protection against this kind of stuff going on. Here's the inferno they're imagining for their daughters and their grandchildren and whatnot in the graveyard. And they're not going to go for it at all. No.
And what Kamala is saying is resonating with them.
Yes.
We're not going back.
No, we're not going back. Nope.
We're not your property. We're not your brood mares.
Nope. Haven't been for centuries.
We're your equals. Yeah.
Okay, will Matt Gaetz win? Will Don Gaetz win? I believe that's his father. Matt is running for Congress. Oh, and his father is running for Florida Senate. Well, let's see.
Will Matt Gaetz win his seat? Will Matt Gaetz win his seat? I'm getting a no. Wow.
Oh,
will his father, Gaetz Sr., win his seat for Senate? Will Gaetz Sr. become a senator? I'm still getting a no on both of them. Wow.
Wow.
That's and I have to say, here he's putting on his dancing shoes, but something's going to lasso him, and he's going to be in hot water for Gaetz for Matt. His dad's just going to be in a hole. So,
wow,
that's not looking too good.
Yeah, I got the Page of Swords jumped out, so I'm going to say that one of those youngsters that Matt was fooling around with is going to be old enough now to testify.
Yes.
She grew up, Matt.
Well, I think Matt will go into his new career as being the other half of Beavis and Butthead.
Yes, thank you.
And go on tour. Yeah, I think so. I also got the Tower for him, so things are not looking good. But for Daddy, I got the Ace of Wands. So I don't know. Maybe he's starting a career other than being a senator. Maybe this is. Maybe I think he might win. I don't think he's not as known of a slimy. Maybe I don't know, Shari. You'd probably know better. You're down in that neck of the woods, so.
I don't know anything about the Gaetz family, unfortunately. That's over in Florida.
All I know is that Daddy's very, very rich and he constantly bails his son out, but I just get
I've heard rumors that there were ties to certain cartels that kind of give that money.
Oh, Aileen Cannon's husband?
So, yeah.
Oh.
Like Aileen Cannon's husband.
This
so
is
we got some ties there. That's the rumor that they say down in this area. So.
Here are the Don Gaetz cards. There, he measures everything. Here's the maze he created in his life so he could hide things. Here's the tornado that he causes. And not sure about the egg, but there's a spatula about to flip it. Because the last card's a gun. So that kind of tells me you
Wands, it's a burden.
For entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. Not great.
10 of Wands, it's a burden on them. Mm-hmm. 5 of Wands, there's a lot of conflict that's going to happen with this. And then I got
he's a senator, not saying he's squeaky clean.
Ace of Pentacles reversed.
Yeah. So in that maze, he's hiding a lot of things around the corners. So you don't know.
Yeah.
I think he is going to win, but he may not stay in. The father. But Matt, no. Matt is. I don't know when Matt's actually up for re-election, but I think somebody with
Matt's in Congress. That's every 2 years they have to run.
Yeah, I think somebody with the initials JS is coming for Matt Gaetz. Yeah. Okay.
Another one of the pile of subpoenas.
My favorite initials.
Okay, let's do this one. Here we go. I'm voting blue in Wisconsin. This is Coach Ellen. So what do you see for Wisconsin for 1, Tammy Baldwin versus Eric Hivdy, and 2, Harris versus 45? Okay.
Okay. Tammy Baldwin versus.
Well, I don't have any knowledge about Baldwin and Hyde, but Harris versus 45, of course, yeah, she's gonna get that.
Yeah, and I get the lounge chair for Baldwin, which is good, and the Band-Aid is for Eric, so he's not going to win.
Yeah, I get that
I
too.
mean, that's
I get that.
and there's
too.
a fight club for Harris versus 45, but we know how that fight turns out.
Oh yeah, yeah, because Trump, as soon as he gets a hangnail, will run away and cry.
Tammy Baldwin, that's the one that lost her legs in the war, right?
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is. She's
Yeah.
going to win.
yeah.
I got King of Pentacles. Yeah, she's her coffers are being filled, so she doesn't seem to have any problems.
No.
And then I got the Three of Pentacles. There are a lot of people working for her campaign to get her back in. And then I got the High Priestess, and that's her.
That's her.
You know, that wall of energy that she created from the very beginning, that wall of energy just got bigger and bigger and
Yeah.
bigger and bigger and
Yeah.
bigger. You can't, I mean, there it is. It's the campaign of hate versus the wall of light. Who's-
Yeah.
it's
But
just-
ever since she's first been on anything, C-SPAN, MSNBC, anything, and it's not just because she's who doesn't have her legs. She just has an aura about her that is just very charismatic, very compelling, and she's
She does.
very, very intelligent.
yeah,
So-
she is.
Yeah, she's pretty powerful. Okay. This is a great question. Let's look at this. Will enough MAGAs in Congress leave before January 6th so that the House is in Democratic hands? I'm thinking indictments, certain people stepping down early, etc. Will Moses Mike be gone? All right, you guys go. I have to do something with this, but go ahead.
There's just going to be a ton of activity, just a ton of activity between November 5th, well, between deciding who's president, which will be Kamala, and January 6th. There's going to be so much activity because Biden will be trying to change things. Kamala will be getting her place all redecorated and ready to go. Yeah, so and we're going to have what's his name, Jeffrey
Hakeem.
yeah, for the speaker.
And first dude Doug is going to be putting up his little thingy on the door of the White House. I forget what they call it. Mezuzah. Thank you. I knew it was an M. I just couldn't remember the word.
Yeah, and inside those they have a teeny tiny little scroll that represents the Torah.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Very cool symbolism.
They've already put it on the second on the VP house.
Yep.
So.
Well, yeah, you have to have it on the front door of your house, of every house that you live in. Otherwise, your house is not blessed.
Oh.
Well, for Jewish families, people who are observant.
Right.
Yeah. I guess that's why my first marriage failed. I never had one. I had a lot of things, a lot of pentacles.
Well, I never dated a Jew, so it was never an issue.
You were blessed anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, we were wrong about the Tammy Baldwin didn't lose her leg. She did lose her leg, but she lost her right leg near the hip and her left leg below the knee from injuries sustained in 2004 when her Black Hawk helicopter she was co-piloting was hit by a rocket propelled grenade fired by Iraqi insurgents. So, I mean, whether you consider that in the war or not, yes, she lost her legs in the war.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
I knew she was in combat and that.
Yeah.
that she had lost her legs.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the fact that she.
Oh, Tammy Duckworth. But you know what? I Googled Tammy Baldwin and I just read you Tammy Duckworth. She's right. Interplanet Janet is correct. That was Tammy Duckworth that I just read.
Duckworth.
And I
Oh,
didn't look
who's
down at the
Tammy
name.
Baldwin?
Yeah, and Tammy Baldwin did not lose her legs.
Is she a Democrat?
Duckworth
Yeah.
is
She's
a
still gonna win.
Democrat.
She's still
Duckworth
gonna win.
is a Democrat. Yes, they're both Democrats.
Okay,
Correct.
so
Yeah.
we're not very well. We
Yeah.
don't know our politicians on PoliTarology.
Interplanet
It's
Janet
just a
is
game.
correct.
It's for entertainment
Duckworth.
only.
Yeah.
Well, Moses might be gone. Most of what Gemstone's talking about here is he's thinking indictments, certain people stepping down early, etc. Well, Moses might be gone. Yeah, she will. She will.
God help us. Then that means they're going to throw him back down here where he's in my state.
Okay, I got cards on this. Okay.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
So the MAGAs in Congress are going to be very sad. And I think as soon as the election is over, even before they decide the winner, I think some indictments are going to start to get thrown down. We got the Three of Pentacles here. We got them all huddling up, trying to figure out how they're going to deal with this. And that's followed up by the Justice card. So I think that Jack is going to be busy.
You're absolutely right. I got that. Have had it all along. Jack is going to waste no time. He could care less about the election or whatever's going on there. He's just going to jump on it. It could be as soon as the very next day.
Yes, it could be. The way the astrology is for November, I would not be surprised at all. I would not be surprised if instead of actual bad weather, it's Jack Smith just going like a whirling fucking dervish, just here's all the indictments.
Well, because
God, please let Jim Jordan be the first one in line to get hit with a subpoena.
What's that, Cleo?
Well, that Trump would, once he's out of the way, he's got nothing to hide behind. He can't be talking about, I'm campaigning for president, so you can't do that. All that stuff is out the window. So Jack Smith is going to waste no time, and he's not going to tiptoe around it. He is going directly to the people that caused the problem, that helped Trump create this problem.
Does he have to wait for the confirmation though for January?
No. The only reason he's waiting is because you're not supposed to do big, huge things right before the election.
The election is over, whether it's settled or not, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Activities.
He can start dropping shit on November 6th. He can start dropping stuff on November 6th.
That's what we're saying. And so once all that stuff is happening and they're all going, oh my God, well, for one thing, it's going to really curtail their ability to support Trump in his court cases because they're going to have court cases of their own. And so for most of them, they're all going to be thinking, oh God, the house is coming down. And they're right. It's coming down. It is just crumbling around their ears.
The sky is falling.
Plus, a lot of them are going to be out of a job come January 3rd. That is when the new class gets sworn in, January 3rd. So that's what, 2 weeks before, more than 2 weeks. Anyway, it's a few weeks before the inauguration. So you've got a period
January 3rd will be before they verify the vote.
It could be. Yes, that could be. But so most of the votes, though, in the states will have been verified by then. So the majority of those congressmen and senators, their votes will be certified and they will know that they won or lost. And a lot of the MAGAs will lose. So then we have the MAGAs packing up their boxes and leaving their offices before January 3rd and getting indictments. So they're running for the hills. And then we just have like the hanged man. But you know what I think? You know that I just have a thing about Hakeem Jeffries. But I just feel that he's going to be speaker before. Now, the election may have taken place, but what about in between the election and January 3rd? Could he become speaker then? What if Mike, who is big time involved with the certification
Yeah.
screw up with Trump. What if he gets not only indicted but arrested or something?
It could happen. Absolutely,
Yeah,
100%.
it could
It
happen.
definitely
Yeah,
happen.
and if that happens and he has to let his position go, or they force him to let it go, then Hakeem would be sworn in a heartbeat. There would be no 15 elections. There would
Yeah.
be like one vote, and such a sigh of relief from the Republicans that are
Yeah.
there. The
Yeah.
Republicans would just be like, "Oh, thank God that nightmare is over, please." So by the time they are all sworn in on January 3rd, Hakeem Jeffries, I think he will already be the Speaker of the House. I think there will be kind of a weird energy around the Congress because a lot of the guys who lost their elections will also be looking at going to court, going to jail.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if any of the ones who win their elections will also be the indicted ones. That's possible, but I think more of them will not win their elections and will be indicted and will be subpoenaed or whatever, you know, all that stuff. The last card I
I
got
like
was
what
man, so there's a long wait afterwards, and kind of interesting. I don't see a big like calamity happening at the Congress on January 6th because I think they've got it shored up, kind of like Fort Knox. I don't think anybody will be able to get in and out of there unless they, you know, give blood or something. So that's what I have to say about that.
Wow.
leave their
I love
firstborn
that.
at the.
Yay. It's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is.
I like what Janice says down here. When the levee breaks, crying won't help you, and praying
Yeah.
won't do you no good.
Exactly.
And
Right.
you know, we're not even thinking about what Mr. Orangina will be doing because his health is so bad. He could,
is.
you know, pop a fuse at any moment,
Yeah.
or he could try to leave the country at any moment. I mean, there's just so much
I
up
think
in
he's
the
going to
air.
make a run for it. That's what
Yeah,
I've always felt like. He's going to
I
make a
think he
run
will
for it.
try. I think he will try. I think his health though is really bad. Maybe he'll try to make a run for it. They bring him that back, and then he pops a fuse. I don't know.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yeah, he looks really bad. I mean,
terrible.
he just looks unhealthy
Mhm.
and weird and
Well, he looks more than unhealthy. He looks just. I don't know if he allows anybody to help him with his makeup and stuff, but even that's been like,
oh, that's just wrong.
big
Where-
time, you know.
Where is Walt Nauta when he needs him? Good Lord. Get that
I'm
man
telling
in
you.
there. That is just a crime against humanity to have to look at Orangina with that weird orange stuff on his face.
Well, you
Did
know,
you
I
mention-
asked about Trump's health and I got the magnet. So I think he's just attracted all this negativity to him. And, you know, his health is just going to suffer from all of that. Yeah, you know,
I think he's stressed because he knows he's not going to be president and he's got all this criminal stuff coming down on him. And I think, you know, and he has been working hard doing his rallies and stuff, but he doesn't take care of himself. But I did want to mention, and we had brought this up before we came on today, about the statue. Did everybody over in the chat section see the big statue of Donald Trump naked at 43 feet tall, 6,000 pounds?
it's made out of foam. It's made out of foam, but it's a heavy kind of they actually construct it and deconstruct it to take it to different states.
Yeah, it's been going all over the country, and they're calling it they're calling it the crooked and obscene tour. Is this statue right here with Donald Trump?
It's completely naked, so folks, but you have to go down to actually see it wherever it appears, because you don't actually see a picture of the whole.
I'm sure that's true in real life too.
The
It's true in my mind's eye.
The statue is in honor of a lifetime of sexual assault, and there's a little plaque at the bottom of the statue that says that.
Joan says it scarred her mind's eye.
Yes, it's scarring mine now.
I just tried to, when I saw that, I couldn't stop laughing.
Oh.
Okay, that's enough. We're all ready to vomit. Okay. So, terrible.
Yeah,
Leave
tiny
from my
shroom. Yeah,
man, that's
exactly.
funny. That's funny.
Tiny shroom.
Okay. Moving on. I think we answered this. Kel Bell's thing. Will he try to escape after the election? Absolutely, he will. Anybody else have a thought on that?
Yeah, he is gonna. I got a gift. He's gonna give himself the gift of freedom by going to another. No, I picked the moon. Maybe where he goes is just in his mind.
Well, he's already there.
I think he's going to try.
I think he's going to be calling MBS and asking him if he can come to Saudi.
But I think that health-wise, he might end up in the hospital, so he might not be in any condition to escape.
Yeah, that could be why they show me a bed.
I'll do the hospital bed.
Yeah, hospital bed. Hospital bed.
So should we send him those bunny slippers with the presidential seal on them?
I think we should, because he needs to feel like he won the election.
Make sure they're pride slippers with bunnies on them.
Yeah. Oh, pride. No. We don't want to agitate him any more than he already is. Okay, but yeah, Kel Bell, we all feel that he will want to escape. Whether he'll be physically capable of doing it or not, we don't know.
Or if anyone will take him.
Maybe Leon Muskrat will send him to the moon.
But Moses Mike will be able to escape. And with his lack of footprint in the American financial system, he can probably do it a lot easier than Mr. Trump. So that's my prediction. Is that
because that guy doesn't have 34 felonies against him. I mean, Trump's got a problem with those felonies and going to other countries. So I know there's some countries that he can get into, but there's other
seeing him trying to escape through the swamp, and he becomes dinner.
Well, and the thing for him too is that some people, like, did Jared ever do anything good with that $2 billion that he got from Saudi? So I think if Trump went there, I think MBS might just have him have a meeting behind closed doors with some of his friends who have, bone cutting saws.
Oh, possibly.
And I don't dissolves things.
Maybe a little Khashoggi action.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be very friendly to him in that country. I think there's a lot of other countries that might be. I think Hungary is his best bet. Mr. Orban.
Yeah, Viktor Orban.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's one of his best bets.
That could
There's
happen.
a pure.
And even then, I wouldn't go anything higher than a first floor room.
Because you might fall off the.
Yeah, he might fall out that window. I mean,
they could just serve him some polonium tea too. So
yeah,
so many ways, but only one little Trumpy. Gosh. What are we going to do? The possibilities are endless. Oh, geez. Okay. So thank you, Kel Bell, for your question. Let's see what this one says. It's an hour. Does anybody have to go? Does anybody have a time limit?
I'm good.
Thank God. Okay. Gemstone Rhapsody. Tucker with a capital F. Thank you. Claims he was attacked by a demon in his sleep and woke up with a bloody claw mark on his body. What is up with that story? Tucker drinks too much coffee.
What a ridiculous story.
Oh, I know what it is. Tucker is withdrawing from whatever they gave him when he was in Russia. He's detoxing from whatever they did. They drugged him, I'm sure. Didn't he stay there like a couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think so.
And I think you're right, because they showed me the hospital bed again kind of thing. Like,
yeah. The things that come out of my mouth that I think I'm making a joke very often.
I think I'm channeling the truth, frankly.
I did that at the fair quite a few times. I would be reading somebody and I would be thinking, oh God, this is not going well. Nothing is hitting. And then I would just say, something like, yeah, so you're gonna move out to the woods and adopt a bunch of dogs. And they would just burst out laughing and go, "What, were you at our breakfast table? That's exactly what we're gonna do."
Oh my
Queen of
God!
Pentacles.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, and the Fool.
And so what does that say to you?
That's saying to me that his demons are probably from certain women that he's not done right by. So I'm just feeling like they're gonna be out to get him. And I think as far as bloody claw marks, I don't know, maybe he's karma, maybe.
So he's
Maybe Spirit has decided that, okay, you want to talk about being attacked? Let's show you what it really looks like.
This is what I really think he is having little nightmares from the blood he has on his hands.
Yeah.
I really do think that, because I have throw up in between that. It's like he's sick.
Yeah.
And he's persecuting himself.
Don't you remember when he was there and he did that interview and I said, I don't think they're going to let him come back. I don't think he's going to be back really soon. I don't think they did. I think he was out of the country for a while. And then after he got back, then there was all those different stories, going to a grocery store, going to a shopping mall, doing this and that. So that's what they had him do all those times. But I don't think that was necessarily a part of the original gig. And so
I keep waiting for him to claim the stigmata or something.
I was just going to say, so he's manifesting spontaneous stigmata, but on his back in the shape of a claw. Now, what animal has a claw like that would claw you on your back?
Russia.
A bear.
Russia.
The symbol of Russia.
The symbol of Russia.
On the nose. Come on. Snap out of it. It's true.
Snap out of it.
That's to me.
Thank you, Gemstone Rhapsody. That was a great question. When I first saw it, I just thought, what the hell are we going to talk about this? But you know what? There's something there. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. Okay. Laura Hammond, is Giuliani going to hand over his property or go to jail hoping Trump? Well, he's already had to hand over his property. They already
he didn't do it yet.
Well, they seized it. I don't think it was his choice. I think
he's not leaving. He I don't know what he's thinking.
Well, when the marshals seize the property in that situation, they will physically remove you and change the locks right while you're there. They'll bang down.
We're talking about a $6 million penthouse.
Yeah, they're not messing around.
Manhattan.
I'll Google it. I don't know.
He's been up to something with it, but as far as hoping Trump will be elected and restore it for him, I mean, restore him and his being a lawyer and all that. Why he ever banked on Trump in the first place? That was his biggest mistake. That's why he's in so much trouble now, and that's why he's losing everything. I mean, it's just really a sad story, but he is such a goofball. But yeah, he's trying to do some more legal maneuvers to try to prevent them from taking his home.
Talk about becoming what you've always fought against. He's become what he fought against for so many years as a lawyer, as attorney general and prosecutor.
They always say there's a fine line between being honest or dishonest, doing the crime that you're, like when he got the mobsters. So, I really get him. They had an idea. He thought, I'm going to be on this island with Trump, but too many people saw, here's Russia putting their money in where it shouldn't be, but Rudy got some. But right now, he's having to look at himself. I'll tell you what happened to him. His ego was so inflated that he really thought they could say and do anything, and Trump would his cachet with Trump would save him from everything. But at the end of the day, he's even trying to get Russia to help him monetarily, but he can't. He's not salvageable. He has no asset value
Right.
as a person to them.
He's not, nobody needs him. He's not helpful. Joan Baker said the moving trucks were there moving his shit out. So
I was just going to say, the moving company got access yesterday with the lawyers. So there's nothing more for him to hang on to.
No,
I mean, he's going to be like Steve Martin in that movie where he's, in a bathrobe and slippers clutching a book to his chest and saying, "This is mine and I get to keep this." Like picking up a rock and saying, "This is mine. I get to keep this."
Yeah.
But the poor guy, I mean, he completely screwed his life over. That's so sad. I think that's an indication of South Node in the 8th house. It's very sad. All right. So, okay. So Laura, I hope we answered your question. And let's go on to Joy. Will Ohio pass amendment to get rid of party gerrymandering? Well, let's just see what the pendulum says. Not right now. No.
You're gonna add fuel to the fire with it, though.
Yeah, it hasn't been determined. I'm just getting a big fat circle.
They're really talking hard about it, but there are the powers that be that are not going to talk right now. They want it the way they want it, and they orchestrated it the way
And
they
isn't that where Vance is a senator?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. They're not going to change that gerrymandering. Not if Peter Thiel has anything to say about it.
Yeah.
The gun in the graveyard.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay, sorry, Joy. We'll keep,
But I hope the gerrymandering is taken care of once and for all after. I hope we get rid of the electoral. That'll get rid of the gerrymandering. Boom. Done.
Here's a good one.
Yeah.
Here's a great question. I'm hoping the secret plan will be foiled because MAGA Mike will lose the majority before he can proceed with any new shenanigans. Please, let's read on that.
And I just got the watchdog. So, really, it's not so secret, is it? And we're going to be watching. So.
And, I look at some of the people who are out campaigning for Kamala Harris. All these people who worked in the White House in the Trump administration. Olivia is her name, Olivia Troy. She was connected with Homeland Security and she worked for Mike Pence. These MAGAs are so stupid. Every single person who works with them has more integrity than they do, and they're watching you. They're carrying out your stupid MAGA orders. It's just, you're so dumb. You're so dumb. So, secret plan. Let's see. Is the secret plan happening? Cleo, you got anything on the secret plan?
No, I'm too busy just enjoying the
They're
question.
not even going to be able to get anywhere near the secret plan. And I have to pipe in.
You still haven't made it up yet.
I just read a really good.
Wait, excuse me, Val. Maybe it's just a concept of a plan.
That's it. It's just a concept. And I don't know who I was watching, if it was Linda G or who, but they were saying what I really believe is true. MAGA Mike doesn't really they just talked about it. It's a concept of a plan, but Trump thinks it's a real plan. But MAGA Mike thinks it's just a concept of a plan.
Well, maybe they wrapped it up in a McDonald's hamburger wrapper, and he thought it was a good.
If this happens, we could do this. If that happens, we could do that. That's the plan they have. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But Trump
In some big secret plan, he couldn't wait to get out in front of the cameras and tell everybody about it.
He is so
he wants
dumb.
to play buddy. Like I'm up on his level, and
You know, I think they've got him so pumped full of probably like Benadryl, Adderall, oxytocin, Oxycontin, maybe oxytocin. I don't know, but you know, and vitamin shots and this and that. They've got him all pinned together with, you know, rubber bands and bubble gum and paper clips, you know, and as soon as they miss a dose of any one of those things, you know, his little fat neck roll is just going to go squidging out from underneath that.
It really is. And I get the world, and here's the bulldozer to just push them out of the way. It's going to come.
Yeah.
And the whole thing's over.
And the reason
started out in the womb
it did
as a demon.
Ooh.
And now he's going back into the black hole.
That's terrible. Well, I tell you what I got. That the fearless leader is coming up with a great plan. And they really think it's a great plan. They even got the Ace of Swords there. But it's gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna be a lot of work, and mommy, they don't want to work. And in fact, the Queen of Wands, who's gonna be one of those women that they hire like as an assistant, is gonna blow the friggin' whistle on them. They're so dumb. I think that's why I came up with that statement earlier, because I think that's what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. That could happen.
They're so dumb. So the secret plan gemstone is going to go like this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
just a concept of a concept.
Yeah.
It's a concept of a concept.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah.
No.
What was that, Shari?
I was reciting a line from Mad Max Thunderdome when the guy says, "Plan, we ain't got no plan."
Yeah. Well, they don't
That's
either.
what started playing in my head the minute I read the question a minute ago. I was like, where did I hear that? I had to think about it for a minute before Spirit showed me the scene in my head. I was like, oh, okay, I got you now.
And
so
imagine being Moses Mike at this point. What is your God telling you to do? Real, you know?
You did it.
What is
probably telling him to sit down and shut up. He didn't know what the hell he's talking about, and he just doesn't want to listen.
I think he'd listen. But I think then Trump would pull him back into the room and say, "You got to do this, Mike. You got to do this, Mike." Yeah. How does he justify going between listening to Trumpy and listening to God? I mean,
because Trump is their savior.
Yeah.
And they look at him as their God.
Yeah.
Does he though?
Which is like the biggest sacrilege of these so-called Christian people that I've ever seen is they put this sorry excuse of a human being up on a pedestal as their God that they're going to follow through and through, you know, and it's like
yeah.
It's got nothing to do with God.
Haven't the church people, what are they called?
Evangelicals.
Those ones, yes, thank you. I just lost track of the English language. Evangelicals.
Happens to me all the time.
They pretty much had it with Trump. They're just not. They're not supporting him the way they used to. But with all the GOP in the House and the politicians and stuff, they have put so much of their hopes and dreams and safety of saving their jobs and their everything else into Trump. I think, you know, when he doesn't get it, everybody's just going to fall to pieces. Like, oh my God! And of course, they're going to try to say it was stolen again. But they're going to freak because they think Trump has it. And that's why they put so much, you know, they put everything, they put their lives on the line and their careers on the line for Trump because they think.
Because they really believe he's their savior. They really believe that he's been sent by God and that he is Jesus incarnate, I guess. I don't know.
How can they believe Jesus would say those vile hateful things.
Yeah.
Well, no, they're going by stuff like
I
when-
don't understand the disconnect. I really don't. It
when
does.
somebody shot him in the ear and missed his head, they're just like, yes, God made sure that he did not get killed. So they're just, once again, he's our savior. And he's just proved it because he's
Anything that happens, they're going to twist it to fit that narrative.
exactly.
They're cult members.
John Baker says false idols.
Yeah, they're cult members. They're
A
going to
false
believe it.
idol, yeah.
Now,
Oh,
do we know I know that Moses Mikey was a big deal for the refusing to certify the votes. But is he also very connected to Heritage Foundation? Is he
Yeah,
very
Yeah,
they all
he-
are.
he's-
They
yeah.
all
yeah.
are. They're,
Is he?
a lot of those names are in the Heritage
they're
Foundation
in there.
Okay.
The
document.
Steiners, yeah, they're in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's that thing called?
The Heritage Foundation manifesto.
Manifesto.
Project 2025.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I said it before everybody else. It sounds like when we're all talking over each other. All right, we got.
We
one
just
more-
get excited and can't stop. That's
I
all.
know. I got one more question on here that I think we should answer. Is Bannon going back to jail?
Oh, hell yes.
Yes, he is. Probably in 2 weeks. No, I don't know when, but really quick. He is
Is
going back.
Bannon going back to jail? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he
He going
definitely
back
is.
at the end of this
Yeah.
week?
He's going to do something for Trump, and it's
Oh,
going to
I'm
put him
getting
in
a
the hole
circle.
again. So yeah,
Will it be next week? Will it be Thanksgiving week? Oh, I got a yes. It went from going in circles to a yes.
Wow.
When I said Thanksgiving week.
Cool.
yeah.
So you know
it's
what?
something he did for Trump. He has blood on his hands over it, and they're
Yep.
You
Another
know, what
one.
you know what? I just connected, and maybe I'm a little slow to the party, but these indictments and subpoenas and things that Jack Smith is going to be handing out, they
Mhm.
might not be about the 2020 election.
That's true.
They might be about current election.
It
Election.
could be true. Yes.
Or
And
a
if
combination of both.
Yeah, or both. Yeah, there could. Well, they'd be two separate. I mean, because Jack's all about the surgical, precise indictment, right? So he doesn't want to waste, time doing a big overarching indictment and then have half of it thrown out. But I just tumbled to that they've been allowed over public knowledge, TV, the internet, and social media. They've been allowed to
Yeah.
see everything play out in real time. And I bet they've just been keeping notes. God,
I'm
these
sure
people
they
are just idiots. They're
They do it all open in plain sight. All this law breaking and federal crimes and state crimes, and they're doing it
It's
like
like
paying people to vote. Yeah, that's
the
like
day
that's
after
legal.
J6, when you had all those people heading to the airports to fly home.
Mhm.
The ones, wound up in jail. The ones that they were able to ping their cell phones to see who was actually there, who was in the building, that kind of stuff, because, they stupidly were taking pictures and it was all recorded on the cell towers. And they got to the airport and to be informed that they're now on the no-fly list. And
Yeah.
there was a bunch of videos of people filming them, when they were asking, well, why on earth would I be on a no-fly list? Well, you're considered
A terrorist.
traitor,
Yeah.
a terrorist. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
For domestic terrorism, you can't get
Yeah.
on the plane. I mean, people were losing their shit over that because suddenly they couldn't fly home.
oh, that's just
So,
crazy.
yeah, well,
Which, speaking of traitors, that's another thing Jack Smith will do is he's going to bring charges against Trump for treason.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just a matter of time.
I
Like-
hope so.
Like
because
this
that's what
Thanksgiving
what it
time.
was. Yeah.
I hope so. That would be great. That would be really, really great. Oh, geez. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, gosh. All
Here's one. Just popped in at the bottom. I'm going to put it up.
Okay, go ahead.
Who's going to pay for all these recounts? The RNC doesn't have any money.
Oh, the states have to pay. The states had to pay last time, too.
Yeah.
Just sometimes the RNC or the DNC will chip in, but they don't have to. The states have to. That's why it's a big reason that the secretaries of states are so pissed off about this whole debacle, because who pays for it?
There's something though, if you
Oh,
have it
turned down.
counted multiple times, the person who's asking for it actually has to pay for it.
Yeah,
But
probably.
the first
Yeah.
time- yeah.
Yeah,
first
that
time-
comes from the candidates' money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
No,
this
it
first
should
time,
the whole time it should come from the candidates' money, but
And the
Yeah.
RNC does have some money now because of Elon Musk and some other guy, but definitely from Musk.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's sad. Well, Kamala still has more.
Yes, she does. She does.
Just saying. Girls rule the world.
Oh, so much more. It's not even funny.
Oh,
Who runs the world? Girls.
girls.
Girls do. They definitely do. Oh gosh.
Well-
Okay. Well, I think. Oh wait, is that one more? Yeah, we did that one. Okay.
We did
So
that.
that's that's it. We did all of the questions. That's
We
wonderful.
did all the questions. Yeah.
And
Wow.
We're an hour and a half into this, so
Okay.
It's not bad. We had like over a dozen questions. So
Yeah, we had a lot of questions. Oh, thank you, everybody.
and
Thank you.
315 in the room.
Nice. Very nice. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, my beautiful psychics who are so exceptionally talented and wonderful and patient with me. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for coming and putting your questions in. I really appreciate that. I think this was a very cheery, fun conversation right on
it
the.
was. It was, everybody's
This was a fun one.
uplifted. And
Yeah.
by the way, everybody, if you haven't subscribed to our channels, you definitely want to subscribe to mine, because I'm just about 30 or 35 away from 1,000. So I need.
Oh, that's awfully close. Okay, people, y'all go subscribe to Cleo right now.
Get her up over that. Get her over the 1,000 mark.
Yes.
Yeah.
They will. They'll get you over there.
All right.
Okay, everybody. Well, I don't know where Rudy Giuliani's sleeping tonight, but I hope
Not in my bed, that's for sure.
I hope everybody gets a nice rest tonight, because this is the big weekend push before the election.
Yeah, we're
Get
gonna be
ready.
cooking.
You're going to have, 45 emails and 80,000 texts, and maybe people knocking on your door and
You
trying
might
to
want
call
to just turn
you.
your phone off.
Yeah, you might want to just turn your phone off for the weekend, because it's just going to be a little bit ugly. But if you've already voted, then go help the people who need to get
Yeah.
the vote out. And you can still do that.
Exactly.
All of the
Phone
candidates.
banking, knocking on doors.
Yeah, but all of the candidates, whatever they're running for, are still accepting help and volunteers to do those things. So if you have time, please go and help them and do that. And some of it you can do from your home. You can be
Yeah.
the person with the annoying text. Think about that. Well, but if they need it, especially if you live in a place where it's a little iffy and you want to really help, turn those votes blue, then you might want to think about actually helping them, because it's just the
Yeah.
weekend, and you don't have to commit for more than you can really do. A couple hours. Anyway, okay, thank you to everybody. Thank you for playing PoliTarology with me. I think we had a splendid game tonight, and
Yes,
we
we
will
did.
be back in 2 weeks. It'll be the 4 of us again. Gerald will not be able to make it, but we can have a girls' night now and again. I think that's good. All
Well,
right.
in 2 weeks, the whole world will have changed in the next 2
Yes.
weeks.
Yes.
Every night will be girls' night.
Yeah, there you go. And could you feel the energy, how different it was today?
Mhm.
it was a new moon in Scorpio today, and it happened to fall at
Yeah.
a really sensitive point of my chart, so it was a big deal for me. But I just felt the energy was like, it was weird. It was like my daughter went away for the weekend, but she left Wednesday night to be there for Halloween, and I'm like, wow, I really feel like it's just me in my house. It's like,
Yeah.
That's a great feeling
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. It is a good feeling.
I know
So-
I was home the other day and everybody left. And I was like, oh my God, I have the whole house to myself and nobody else is here but the dogs and the cat.
So did you rip off your bra and go running through the house?
No, that's
Oh, that's what I
dangerous and
did.
could put my eye out, you know. It's-
Oh, that's funny. Oh God. Oh well. Okay, everybody. Well, I will see you guys in 2 weeks, and it's a very eventful 2 weeks. So hang on to your hats and
Yay.
vote. No, we'll see you
Yes,
soon.
yes,
Bye,
yes.
everybody. Love you.
Yeah, everyone.
Bye.
Okay.
Fun.